Welcome to BSG Gibson Show, BSG.
Hello, BSG Fighters. Welcome back to another episode. This is season 6, episode 14, featuring Nana Kwame Brown from Ghana, a medical doctor, social entrepreneur, public speaker, and a mentor. As intended, I am going to transform your mind into a strong and positive mind. Before I dive into today's topic, I'd like all of you to know that my TikTok and YouTube community are different from my podcast community, so check out my videos on these platforms. Welcome, Nana Kwame.
Thank you very much, Sharon.
You're welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm a little under the weather, but I'm fine.
Okay, that's nice.
Can you tell us more about yourself?
Like you rightly said, I'm a medical doctor, a social entrepreneur. I run 2 non-profit organizations, Health Flux, which focuses on improving the quality of healthcare in sub-Saharan Africa. I'm really passionate about leadership and mentorship, youth development, guiding young people to discover and fulfill purpose.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Good job.
Thank you.
Today's episode is titled, Is Having a Mentor Important? As usual, I will be sharing 2 top rules for success inspired by a highly successful person. Today's person is Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was described as the mother of civil rights movement. Number 1, and I quote, when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear. And number 2, and I quote again, I would like to be remembered as a person who wanted to be free, so people would also be free. Moving to a topic of discussion, is having a mentor important? Nana Kwame, what is mentorship?
Okay, so the concept of mentorship is that it describes a relationship between 2 people within which a more knowledgeable, experienced person guides and nurtures the development and growth of another person. So this more knowledgeable person is the mentor, and this person who is being guided is the mentee. The goal of this relationship is the growth and the development of the mentee. Mentorship is something that makes life much easier for the mentee because it offers you somebody who is there for you, somebody who advises you, who corrects you, who directs you, who challenges you, and ultimately somebody who uses his or her experiences, resources to empower you and to offer you an advantage. That's what the concept of mentorship is about.
That's great, and everybody does need a mentor because one way I've been able to navigate through life, directly or indirectly, is by listening to people who are more knowledgeable than I am. Honestly speaking, for our next question, I think I have my answer, but have you been able to navigate through life without having a mentor?
Honestly, no. Mentorship has been a crucial aspect of my growth and development as an individual. For everything I've decided to venture into, everything I've decided to explore, I've always stood on the shoulders of people who are more experienced and knowledgeable in such areas. The aspect of any or every success that I've been privileged to experience.
Sometimes I feel like it's not easy for you to find a mentor. So there are certain things I do and I don't have any mentor for it. My mentor is YouTube. My mentor is some TikTok videos. So, how are you able to get this mentor that would help you in your lifetime and not one that would want to prevent you from being ahead of them, but one that would actually want to foster your growth and is not bothered about you surpassing them? And how do we prevent ourselves from emulating a mentor while learning as much as we can from their life experiences?
One danger of mentorship, the risk of idolizing a mentor when you make the mistake of literally laying your life wholly at the feet of a mentor. Okay, everybody who is being mentored needs to know. And the first is that mentorship is not slavery. Okay, it's not a relationship in which you seek commands. It's a relationship in which you seek advice, you seek guidance. And in fact, mentorship doesn't mean that your mentor is always right. But it does mean that your mentor is mostly right. I recall a situation I had with one of my mentors where he advised me to take a specific decision. I didn't feel convinced about it. When I came back and I spoke to him, he said that, well, the next time you don't feel right about something and I'm telling you to do it, you should tell me that you don't feel right about it. Because just because we have a mentor doesn't mean we lose our own common sense. It doesn't mean we lose our intuition. So mentorship is not not slavery. You take what you are being given and you fuse it with your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom as well. It gives you an advantage, but it doesn't mean that we should be enslaved by this relationship.
Yeah. You really do not want to be in touch or be in contact or even have a mentor who wouldn't want you to surpass them. So, for any young adults in need of guidance, how could they find the right mentor?
Okay, there are three things. One is what the mentor has. Two is the mentor's heart towards you. And three is your heart towards the mentor. Okay, so what do I mean by firstly what the mentor has? Before you approach somebody to mentor you, you need to first find yourself. You need to find your identity and find your purpose. You need to find what you want to do with your life. Now, when you find what you want to do with your life, you look for somebody who has more knowledge, experience, and results in this area. Okay, so if you want to give your life to public speaking, you find somebody who has knowledge, experience, and results in the area of public speaking. So that's the first thing you look for. The second thing is you look for the mentor's heart. So when you are looking for a mentor, you look for somebody who loves you and seeks your growth and your development. And the last thing you look for is your heart towards this person. If you are going to be mentored by anybody, you need to love this person, you need to respect this person, you need to trust this person, and you need to be willing to serve under this person. Okay, these are the things you look for before you commit to a mentorship relationship. Because if you don't, you really can't learn from such an individual.
Yeah, that's a deep one. That's a good insight. Some years ago, I met a mentor, right? Somebody who embodied who I wanted to be. That was
Yeah.
Anita Eskin. But you see the second point you made about
Yeah.
the person's heart towards you. I was not even sure about her heart towards me because her advice, it wasn't gelling with me. She was like, work on yourself. Don't rush into starting a business right now. Like what I was doing at that time. She was like, quit what you're doing and work on yourself. I was like, who gives an advice to quit? Do you get it? And years down the line, even though she never became like a personal mentor, I saw that even though what she was telling me seemed so wrong and seemed like maybe she didn't want me to succeed because that's how I saw it. But her advice was actually what I needed to do at that time. It took me years for me to realize that her advice was good. I'm sure if I had taken her advice, I would have progressed in life faster than I have now. But yeah, having a mentor and listening to your mentor is very crucial to your growth as an individual. And it can also speed up your progress in life. Because sometimes I look back just within 2 years, I am now doing what she said I should have done 7 years ago, and I'm seeing like massive results. I can see the impact of her wisdom, her guidance.
Are you ready for the comfort break question? Comfort break question.
What do you enjoy most about your job?
I currently work in a maternity unit at my hospital. I get to see pregnant women through the process of pregnancy, but more importantly, through the process of live birth. I get to see some mothers who battled with infertility for years finally have babies, and that is truly fulfilling experience to be able to contribute to that. Nothing quite compares to the joy of motherhood.
That's so true. Nothing does compare to the joy of motherhood. Back to your question, because I don't know what I enjoy about my job. What difference did having a mentor make in your life?
It made a world of difference, honestly, Sharon. I think mentors has given me opportunities because, believe it or not, the person who submits your name makes a world of difference in the submission. What I mean really is that a mentor is able to recommend you because this person has results, experiences, more knowledgeable. Their recommendations are really taken lightly. So a lot of the opportunities I've been privileged to have in my lifetime, it was because a mentor who had invested in my growth, trusted me, recommended me somewhere, afforded me a lot of opportunities. Having mentors has helped me avoid mistakes. One of my most dear mentors is my dad. I can't count the number of times I've told him of an idea and he shut it down in 5 seconds because to him it was an obvious mistake I was making. Looking back, I would have made so many mistakes if I hadn't engaged my mentors before attempting a number of things. Two advantages you get from having mentors is opportunities and the privilege of avoiding mistakes you would have otherwise made.
Yeah. So for anyone struggling out there to find a mentor, what do you recommend they do?
Well, I'm often approached by a lot of younger medics who say they would like to be mentored. just because they seem impressed by the little progress I may have made. But I don't think anyone should rush in trying to find a mentor. Before you find a mentor, you need to take time to find yourself. Because what tends to happen is that you see somebody doing something, it looks beautiful. You ask them to mentor you, and then you realize that you actually don't have any interest in what they are doing. So find yourself, and after you found yourself, you can then approach somebody who is making strides in the area that you are sure you are supposed to grow in. Like I said earlier, you make sure that their heart for you is good. You make sure that your heart for them is good. Then you engage and seek for mentorship.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of the episode, actually. But before you leave, is there any life lesson you live by? And can you share them with us?
I have a lot of values that guide me in life, but if there's
Yeah.
one I would like to share on this, it's that I've learned to be gracious to people. What I mean is that I've learned to be empathetic. I've learned to give people a listening ear. I've learned to not cast hasty judgments on people. Okay. One practice which is very common these days is the whole idea of cancel culture. Hearing that somebody did this and writing them off, or seeing that somebody said or did something and writing them off without giving them a chance to explain, giving them a listening ear, hearing them out. I think it's only after you have been wrongly accused, or it's only after you found yourself in a place where you weren't given a chance, will you actually see the value in giving people the opportunity, giving people a chance, learning to not cast a hasty judgment on someone based on something you heard or something you saw. It's something I'm learning, because a lot of the time things aren't what they seem. You could lose out on a valuable relationship, a valuable partnership, a valuable, potential business partner, just because you wrote somebody or something off based on misinformation, wrong perceptions, and the like. So I'm really learning to be gracious, to give people a
Yeah.
chance. Always listen to different aspects of every story before you write a person off. It's one of the things I've learned and I hold on to dearly.
I do agree with you. And you just talking about the cancel culture. One thing I love to do is that when bad news is circulating on social media, I don't take
Yeah.
it on the surface level. I go deep
Yeah.
into it. Why are people hating? Why are people saying what you're saying? Because people are so quick to spread negativity. And I was just like watching these two guys, James and Ford, I think that's his name. Two funny guys. They went on a podcast show, asked them about something about black women, right? They laughed about
Yeah.
it, something related to dating, and they laughed about it. Now everybody's attacking them as if they were the ones who gave birth to all the black women in the world. And it's just weird because, yeah, if we are feisty and we are aggressive, it's okay. Like, let's be that. Do you get it? Nobody is representing the whole of the black female community. Like, it's weird to me. And the way people were like, cancel them. And it was just sad because it's not even them about being men sitting there. They're two human beings. I always say that the M in the human, it represents mistakes, and we are liable to making mistakes. It really hurt me because it hurt me for them. I was just like, these are just two human beings who probably, sometimes when I'm having a podcast show, yeah, or I'm talking to somebody or somebody passes a comment, I might give a reaction that I'm not even aware of. I didn't even put so much thought to my reaction because in that moment, their cameras, they are trying to like answer the question correctly. It's so much pressure on just one human being. And it was so weird. Even some educated girls that like I kind of like gave some respect to. Well, I also do not judge them because they are humans, but they were also like trashing them and everything. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that because I do understand that, let's give grace to humanity. Like, we are not perfect people. We can't be perfect. And nobody's supposed to protect you except yourself. We can only do the best that we can when we can, but live your life for yourself. And they are doing the best that they can. They shouldn't be judged for it. So yeah, I do agree with you 100%. This whole cancel culture thing and putting people on a pedestal and they can't even make any mistake is, to me, is ludicrous. I also love what you said about relationships. Like, we could miss out on like a very good relationships all because we don't give other people grace. And one of the things I always remind myself is the fact that not everybody is living the same life I'm living. Not everybody has the same personality that I have. No matter how it seems like we are matching energy, my personality is different from my friend's personality. My personality will be different from my boyfriend's personality, that of my mom, my brother. So it's left to me to accept who they are and give them grace. The way I respond to situations the way I respond to challenges, the way I respond to my problems is not the same way they respond to it. So I really love your life lesson, and it's something that I keep teaching myself on a daily basis, and that's why I have been able to reconnect back with old friends. We took some break from each other and we're experiencing life, but that doesn't mean that it's all over. And it's because of this, the grace, being empathetic towards each other, that made it possible for us to reconnect. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, Sha.
We've come to the end of the episode. I'll be going over Rosa Parks' quotes. Number 1, when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. It means that once you're certain on what you want to do, fear automatically disappears. So be certain about what you want to do and focus on that. Don't let any wind just blow you off of what you want to do. Otherwise, you would be filled with fear. And number 2, she said, I would like to be remembered as a person who wanted to be free, so people would also be free. In her era, she was a civil rights activist. It was more of a racial battle that she was facing, and that's why she said this. But in today's time, I would say that you being a free person comes in different forms, living your true self and expressing yourself, trying to be who you were programmed to be, I would say, or destined to be. And that would also give people the opportunity to also be who they are meant to be. So allow yourself to be free and express yourself in a way that is true to your identity. Okay, so now kindly leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for listening. I love you as much as you love yourself. Until next episode, bye.